Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Last Minute A channel that helps you with all your problems in life sciences. Even if it's the night before your exam or your test, or you are starting a new section in your life sciences and you're freaking out, this channel is here to help calm all those nerves down and make things easier and understandable for you. So, before we get into it, I just want to say that we are on 100 subscribers, and I would like to say thank you so much to all of you guys that are pushing that subscribe button. And I am glad and happy that this channel is helping you guys and you are seeing the significance and the importance. Well, it isn't actually the same words, but the importance of this channel. So I love you guys and thank you so much for supporting me, and I appreciate you guys making me part of your journey in making it in your school career. And if you're not a subscriber yet, come on, press that subscribe button. It is free and you will not regret it. So make sure you guys leave a comment as well about maybe what you didn't understand and what would you like to see more from this channel in terms of topics, and other suggestions are also welcomed. But let's get into what we'll be doing today. So today we will be doing part 2 of microorganisms. This time we'll be looking at the role of microorganisms in the environment. So let's look at the objectives for today's lesson. We'll be defining microorganisms and their ecological roles. We'll explain microorganisms as producers in the food chain. We'll describe the role of bacteria in the nitrogen cycle, identify and explain types of symbiotic relationships, and also provide examples of or explain examples of these symbiotic relationships, such as lichens, ruminants, mycorrhiza, and E. coli in humans. So we will be looking at these topics in today's video, and most of these topics, if not all of them, sometimes do come out either as an essay question, or they would be those 5-6 marks questions or 4 marks questions that are like just one paragraph or less than a paragraph they would want. And so these topics are mostly those questions that will become long form questions, or what they would do is they will put either pictures and then they'll have you answer certain questions about these topics. So make sure you pay attention, because these topics are very good at gaining marks. So let's get into it. So we have spoken about certain microorganisms having the role of being decomposers or being saprophytes, which are very important for keeping the ecosystem balanced, because they help break down dead material and also help recycle nutrients back into the environment. So decomposers are organisms like the bacteria and fungi that break down dead organic matter, and then saprophytes are organisms, mainly fungi, and then there's some bacteria as well that obtain nutrients from dead and decaying matter. So both decomposers and saprophytes help make sure that there isn't a pileup of dead plants and animals everywhere. And also in terms of recycling, they help break down dead material. So decomposers help the material from dead matter to be released, such as nutrients to be released, such as nitrogen, carbon, and minerals back into the soil. So the decomposers help all of those important nutrients that I just mentioned to be released back into the soil. And then there's nutrients that will either be absorbed by plants, or they'll grow and become new organisms, but they keep getting passed back into the food chain. They keep the food chain in full cycle and continuing to happen. And in terms of helping balance the environment, they help, as I mentioned before, to prevent the buildup of dead organisms and waste, which would be very harmful to us if they were not around. And they help recycle nutrients so plants can grow by putting back nitrogen, carbon, and minerals back to the soil for the plants. And they help keep the soil fertile and they help to support the food chain and the ecosystem stability. So it's like, for example, if you want to start a garden, you have to make compost, and normally you'll take foods like your fruits that have already gone bad, and you just put them in soil. And that's where decomposers and saprophytes come into play, because they help take all the nutrients from those bad food that you've put in that soil, and they provide the soil with all of the nutrients that it needs to be rich and good enough for plants to grow from it. So that's what these decomposers and saprophytes do. So microorganisms are producers in the food chain, or can act as producers in the food chain. So because there are some microorganisms that can make their own food using photosynthesis, using sunlight and through the process of photosynthesis. And some of those microorganisms include phytoplanktons, algae, and cyanobacteria, which we have spoken about in part 1 as well. So, with the process of photosynthesis, you need sunlight and carbon dioxide and water to produce glucose, which would be the energy source. And then the byproduct of photosynthesis is oxygen. I will make a photosynthesis video next time, but that's just the short version of it. So these microorganisms, they form the base of many food chains, and especially the aquatic ecosystem. So the phytoplanktons, they have this energy storage. They have a lot of glucose because they are producing their own glucose, their own food. And then they are eaten by zooplankton, which are other microorganisms which cannot make their own food, so they will consume the phytoplankton since they contain glucose. And then the zooplanktons will be eaten by small fish, and the small fish will then be eaten by larger fish, and it goes on and on and on and on. So you see how they play a role in being in the food chain, or forming the base of aquatic ecosystems food chain. So the importance of having these microorganisms as producers is that they provide energy for other organisms, and they produce a large portion of Earth's oxygen, as photosynthesis is a byproduct of photosynthesis, and they support the entire aquatic ecosystem. So that's how they play a role as producers in the food chain. Now let's look at the nitrogen cycle. So the nitrogen cycle is a cycle it's a biochemical cycle where nitrogen gas from the atmosphere is converted into various chemical forms which are usable in the ecosystem, or that travel through the ecosystem. And then we have special bacteria that play a very important role in this cycle, because they help with the conversion of nitrogen into various chemical forms which are usable by plants and other organisms. So now, how does this happen? So plants and animals cannot, or any other organisms, cannot use nitrogen gas as directly. So they has to be converted to be into different chemical forms so that it will be usable. So this is how that happens. So we have the first process, which is nitrogen fixation. So some bacteria will then help convert nitrogen gas from the atmosphere into ammonia. So nitrogen gas from the atmosphere will be N2, and then it will be converted to ammonia, which is 2NH3. And this conversion normally happens in the soil or inside the roots of plants. So now, once nitrogen fixation has occurred, nitrification happens, and nitrification has 2 steps. So the first step is ammonia will be converted into nitrate. This is all happening in the soil. So ammonia in the soil now is going to be converted firstly into nitrate. Nitrate is NO2 with the negative. So NH3, which is ammonium, is going to be converted to NO2 with the negative. That is nitrate. And then second step is nitrate will be converted to nitrate. So that will be NO2 converted to NO3. Nitrate is now absorbable, like plants can be able to absorb nitrate from the soil or in the roots, absorb it and then use nitrate to make organic nitrogen compounds such as amino acids, proteins, and then animals can get those organic nitrogen compounds or nitrate by consuming either plants or other animals. Then after that, it's either the plant then dies, but basically how it all goes back to the soil, it's either the plant will die or the animals will release waste such as feces, urine, and both of those will lead to nitrate being back into the soil or released back into the soil. And then the bacteria will come back again and convert that nitrate into nitrogen gas, and it will return back to the atmosphere. So nitrate, NO3, will be converted back to N2, which is nitrogen gas, back to the atmosphere, and then the process starts all over again. So you can see the chemical reactions, and you can see the diagram here. It explains it. You can see how the cycle keeps going. So why is the nitrogen cycle important, and the role of bacteria in this as well, is that firstly, like we said, it makes nitrogen available for plants, and it helps plants be able to produce proteins and DNA, and also it helps with the recycling of nitrogen in the atmosphere or in the ecosystem, and it maintains soil fertility and environmental balance. We never have too much nitrogen or too little nitrogen because it's always being used up or replenished. Our soil is always fertile because it contains nitrogen that plants can use to grow, and we have food, and we can get the necessary nutrients from plants and animals because of the nitrogen cycle. I briefly interrupt this episode of Last Minute Aid to tell you guys about something that I am doing. So if you're in grade 10, 11, 12 and you're struggling with life sciences, I'm now offering one-on-one tutoring sessions to help you better understand the work and prepare for tests and exams. Each session is 1 hour long and includes study notes, past paper practice to help you improve your results and confidence in the subject. The cost is 100 Rand per session, but if you are a subscriber to Last Minute A, you get a discount and you only pay 80 Rand per session. If you're interested in booking, please email me on the email on the screen, DLOMOHLENGIWE36@gmail.com. Hit me up to book your session, and let's work together to improve your life science marks. Now let's get back to the episode. So let's look at symbiotic relationships. Symbiotic relationships are close interactions between two different organisms living together, where at least one organism benefits from the relationship. So the first example of a symbiotic relationship is mutualism. So mutualism, it's in the name. Both organisms benefit from the relationship. For example, bees and flowers. So bees get nectar from flowers, which is how they nourish themselves. And at the same time, the flowers are able to reproduce with the help of bees. How do they do that? So when a bee sits on a flower to get some juices to nourish themselves, they get pollen attached to their bodies. So when the bee flies from one flower to the next, it is helping with pollination, and that helps flowers be able to reproduce and get pollinated. And then we have another example of a symbiotic relationship, which is Commensalism. It is a relationship where one organism benefits and the other is neither helped nor harmed. An example for that is remora fish and sharks. So these fishes will attach themselves to sharks and they will eat the shark's leftovers. So after a shark has attacked another fish and they don't finish their whole meal, then these little fishes will then come up and just eat those leftovers. So technically the sharks are hunting for them, and this is not harming the sharks or even helping the sharks in any way. Or when there's birds eating insects and bugs or flies from cows and elephants, that is mostly helpful to the birds. They get to get food, and then the cattle basically, they neither helped nor harmed. And then another example of a symbiotic relationship is parasitism. Parasitism is a relationship where one organism benefits and the other is harmed. And the organism that benefits is the parasite, and the organism that is harmed is the host. And an example of this is tapeworms in humans. So tapeworms, they live inside the intestines and they absorb all the nutrients that you ingest. And one of the symptoms that you would get from having a tapeworm is constant hunger. You will see yourself having a huge appetite than normal, and that is a result of tapeworms eating up all the nutrients before your body can absorb them. And sometimes you can hear funny noises in your stomach and you might feel some type of abdominal pain as well. And that's why you're supposed to deworm frequently, maybe like a year or after 6 months. But mostly children or babies and toddlers, because they once they start crawling and moving around and walking, they start putting things in their mouth. Everything they see, toddlers just put it in their mouth, and they play in the park or in the house. So it's easy for them to get the tapeworm than grown-ups, because we are much more hygienic than little kids. So obviously that is harmful for us humans, and it is beneficial for the tapeworm because they get nourishment. And I just have another 2 examples of mutualism in terms of microorganisms. The first one is ruminants. So ruminants are animals such as cows, sheep, and goats. They have a special stomach called a rumen, and inside the goat's, sheep, and cow's stomach there are microorganisms, either bacteria and protozoa. These bacteria or these microorganisms, they help break down cellulose in grass so that the animals can digest it. And then the microorganisms get a very favorable environment to live in and food at the same time. So that's a beneficial relationship for both the ruminants and both for the cattle and the microorganisms. And another one is E. coli and human intestines. So E. coli is bacteria that is found in the human intestines and intestines, however you pronounce it. So this is also another example of mutualism. So E. coli is a bacteria that naturally it will be in your large intestines, and for humans and other animals as well. And most of the time it's harmless and helpful, but there are instances where it may cause illnesses. Some strains may cause illnesses. And how humans benefit from this bacteria is that this bacteria produces vitamins such as vitamin K and B vitamins. And it also helps with digestion of food and also prevents the growing of other harmful bacteria in your intestines. And then E. coli benefits by living in the human intestines or other animals' intestines because they get food and nutrients as well, and they also get a very nice, favorable environment to live and strive in. So those are just some examples of other mutualism relationships. So I hope that was clear. I hope it was clear to understand the symbiotic relationships and all of that. So all of these topics that we touched on from the beginning, they all are mainly either paragraph questions or essay questions in life sciences. So it's always nice to understand what's going on, because you never know how they'll ask the question. So whatever how they ask the question, you are able to understand and able to answer it, because you understand what's going on. You understand how everything works. So yeah. So I hope this lesson was very nice and clear for you guys. And make sure that you like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below for any questions that you have about this video, and also any suggestions for what topics you would like me to do next, or any cool other ideas that you would like me to incorporate in our videos. And also make sure you check out our social media pages, guys. They are very important. We post quizzes, we post bursary information, internships, learnerships that you can do at entry level with either your metric or without it. And it's always great to know where you can find such information for the future, or for now, just to build some sort of experience. So once you get out of high school and you hit the real world, you're nice and prepared, and you're not confused and wondering what to do. And if maybe you can't get the government bursary, you can always get other bursaries as well for your studies. And yeah, make sure you have everything you need so that you won't hit the road panicking, but instead you hit the road running. You're stable, you're steady. So please follow us on TikTok and Instagram. And also make sure you share this video with your classmates, because you're the only person trying to get that A. And there's loads and loads of A's to pass around. So share this with your classmates and help them as well. It's always good to help others. And thank you so much, guys, for subscribing. Thank you so much for supporting me. And I hope my videos make a difference. I hope they make you understand things. I hope they're making you progress in your school career, in your studies. And make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you study hard. Make sure you understand your work. And good luck in your studies. God bless, guys. See you guys in the next video. Bye.